Microsoft is slowly phasing out old Excel formulas, and you should know what's replacing them. My name is Kailash, and in this video, I will show you 6 types of Excel formulas you should start using, else you will be left behind. But before that, subscribe to our channel, like, comment, and share this video with your friends. Let's get started. So let's talk about the first formula, XLOOKUP. XLOOKUP is replacing VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, and LOOKUP formula. And here is an example. So I have got some sample data here, here, and bottom. So let's look at the first one. It has got product name, product ID, category, and price. And look at it, product ID is here. Now, if I want to use VLOOKUP formula to get product name, this is kind of impossible, right? Because you have to move this data somehow here, right side of where you want to look up. Then only possible. Like, for example, here is the product ID 101, which is this one, and I want to know the price. Now, price is right side, right? So we can use VLOOKUP formula. So you see, VLOOKUP this value in B to D column and return the third one, 1, 2, 3. So the price will be returned 5, right? But how do I get the product name? Unless it is at the right side, it is not possible to get this name, right? Now, how XLOOKUP helps here? Now, XLOOKUP, same scenario we have, and how we get price. Using XLOOKUP, how we get is same way we are saying lookup value this, and where to look. It needs to look at column number B, right? Followed by what to return, D column, and then if not found, in case if this is not there, then return 0. And is it exact match or similar match, like that? So it is exact match. And we got the same value. Now here is the thing, the product name, right? Same scenario, but if you see return, I could mention this also, A column. So XLOOKUP can go to the left side of the data also, right? Same formula, and you see if not found, blank, and the match mode, there are 4 match modes, which is exact or next smaller, next larger, wildcard, or regex. So I'll put 0, enter, and we got it, right? Now, same way, HLOOKUP. So here we have sample data, and look at it. Employee ID is here, the name is here. Again, we have the same problem here as well. Now, salary, we can get it using HLOOKUP. So looking at the employee ID into this and return the 4th row, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 salary here, right? And that's how we are getting the HLOOKUP and the value. But again, employee name, there is no way, right? Unless this is at the downside, you cannot get it. But XLOOKUP can also handle this. So similar scenario, have a look. XLOOKUP, what value? This value. Where to look is in this particular row, and which array to return? Salary, this one, and 0, 0 means if not found 0, and get the exact match, right? Like this. And employee name, if you look, lookup array is here and return array is 14th row, which is above than that, right? So we are able to go to the upside as well using XLOOKUP. Now, look at one more example, which is lookup formula. Here I have some frequency and the color. And if I want to get the color based on the frequency, I can use lookup, right? Because here if you see, I'm trying to look 7.66, which is, it should give the nearest or the smallest one. So smallest is here, blue, right? So the lookup is working fine, no problem here. I'm able to search this into this particular array followed by this as a return, right? But if it is 3.5, then what? there is nothing less than 3.5, so it will give you error, correct? Because it look for only the smaller values, but there is no smaller than 3.5. But here XLOOKUP can handle both, which here you see it is able to handle it because we are supplying -1. Now what is -1? -1 is the second parameter, exact match or next smaller item. So it is able to handle. And for this scenario, we have passed 1. That means, which is says exact match or next larger item. So it's able to handle the larger scenario also. So you can use XLOOKUP in place of lookup, HLOOKUP and VLOOKUP. Okay. Now, why XLOOKUP is better than these 3 formulas? There are a couple of reasons. So first, we have seen that it can go left side towards the data, or it can go up to the data if it is searching, right? Because VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP cannot go to the left side or to the up side, right? But XLOOKUP is able to handle that scenario, right? And you don't have to count the index. Now this is very difficult, right? Sometimes you have more data than you have to count which particular column index or row index you want to return, 6, 7, 100, whatever, right? XLOOKUP is solving that. You just select that column itself rather than counting them, right? And it handles the error scenario also. Like if it is not found, then what? VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP actually gives you error, right? But HLOOKUP, you can say that if it is not found, give me blank, give me 0 or something else, right? Or say not found, like that. So it is able to handle that as well. So start using it, and let's look at another scenario. So here again I have a sample data. As you see, it has got date, salesperson, region, product, the unit, prices and all. Now here is the different scenarios, right? The total sales for north region, if you want to get it, how you will do it using old formula. You will be using array formulas. You see this curly bracket, right? So it's an array formula. So what you're doing is you are comparing each particular value, whether it is north, that is the region, and then you are returning column G, which is the sales, and then you are using sum on top of it. And on top of it, you are making it as an array formula, right? With a shortcut key as Shift Control Enter, right? Now, this one, you can easily do it using filter and sum. So here, if you see here, first I am filtering this data based on north, which is here you see G column, and the filter is mentioned here, right? And whatever comes on top, I have simply given sum. So it will do a sum, same value, right? And it is not entered like using Shift Control Enter. So that is an easier way to do things, right? Similar scenario if you have 2 filters, for example here. So total sales for laptops in north region. Now 2 filters, right? So the older way is, again you will use something like this, right? North, and using this formula you will multiply, and then is what you will get. But using the new formula, you can easily use filter again, right? Using filter and sum, here you can see I have given 2 conditions like this, and then use the filter and sum. If we talk about only show me north sales, the filtered data. Now, older way, there is no way actually. You can only get sum or count or whatever, right? But if you just want to see all the line items for north sales, you cannot do it. Now with new function of filter, you can actually do this. So here you see, so I've simply used filter formula to filter this data for north and give me the data directly here. Item wise data is what I'm able to get it using filter function, right? Now next we have the unique product name. Now how you will do in older scenario is you might be using some pivot or some other method, or removing the duplicates. Like that you will get the unique names, right? But with new formula you can simply use unique. The unique will give you all the unique names available in the data. So here, if you see, I have selected products and it is giving me the unique product names, right? If we talk about sorting the data, in older method, there is no way, you have to use VB only, right? But new formula, we have something called sort, right? So here sort by is used to sort this entire data and then bring the data as per the sorting. Now, why these formulas are better than earlier? There are a couple of reasons. One, they are easier in writing because the syntax are more simple to understand, right? They are more readable. Then next is that you don't have to use a combination of shift, control and enter to enter those functions, right? And the third thing is that spell. Basically, when you are using like filter function, then it is able to understand and it is able to give you entire data in just one formula. It is able to spill the result into the next columns and next rows, right? So you don't have to copy paste the formula in each cell. So that's the beauty about the new formulas. Okay. So next we are going to talk about IFS. So here I have a sample data again. I have students data which I want to categorize their grade based on the score. The grades are mentioned here. Now the older formula you will use is using multiple ifs, right? So here you will say if the value of score is greater than 90, then A, else if you will again write one more if and check the second condition, then third condition, then the fourth condition, like that. And it may get complicated, right? In maintenance, and you want to add one more conditions and all, then it will become difficult. The new formula is using if s, right? So here you see we have simply mentioned is that if it is greater than equals to 90, then put A, but there is no other if, right? Second condition is also mentioned, third is also mentioned. So all are mentioned in just one formula, right? So this is easier and you're able to relate it better and it is easy to understand as well, right? So you should start using this new formula as well when you need to have multiple if conditions. There you should start using if s. The next we have is concat functions. So here again we have an example of the employees skills and we want to concatenate their skills into one cell. Now, older method would be someone would be using something like this formula where you are manually concatenating, or someone who can use concat or concatenation formula as well, where you can select that range and get this done as well. Now, this is also a way, but if you see here, there are problems, right? It is like you have to manually give some space in between the formulas, then only it is possible. Otherwise, it will join all the text. Now, for this kind of scenarios, you should use TEXTJOIN. TEXTJOIN is where you can also mention the delimiter, right? That when you are merging this data, do you want to put some delimiter in between, right? Do you want to ignore the empty so that extra delimiter will not come? And then entire range, right? Like this you can give, and here you see that it is able to bring the comma and space after each word, right? This is easier, and all the requirements that we had, we were able to meet in just one formula, right? So you should use text join instead of concat or concatenate. The next we have is handling the errors. So for example, you see we have revenue and units sold. And if you want to calculate revenue per unit, then you have to divide the numbers, B divided by C, right? Now here we have a problem because we are dividing the value by 0. So it is going to give us the div by 0 error. So the old method to handle this scenario is to use ISERROR. So here ISERROR, if you see here, what we are doing is that it is calculating whether or not it is giving an error. If yes, then use if condition to handle that and say error, otherwise calculated. right? This is the method that we use. The newer method is using if error. Now, if error, directly you evaluate, and if it results in error, it will directly put it. So if you see here, this versus this, here we are mentioning the formula only once, but here we had to mention the formula 2 times, right? So this one is better wherever you want to handle the error, use if error and don't use is error. The last one we have is year fraction. Now, if you want to calculate the year difference between today and the date of birth, then you might be using something like this: 2025 or current year minus the year part of this, right? Now, this is giving you just the values, but not fractional. What if it is 15.5, right? So for that, again, older method, if you know, you will be using today minus this and divide by 365. This is a way you can calculate the years into fractional values. But for that, again, Excel come with a new formula, which is easy to use, is simply year FRAC, fraction, and give both the parameters, and you get the difference exactly into just one formula. So you don't have to play with multiple things and start using the simple. I hope you like this video. If you want this practice file also, you can find the link in the video description.